Hello, welcome back to some 1990 Strat-O-Matic baseball. This is game number 2 of a replay of the National League Championship Series, which the Reds won in real life. In my replay so far, the Pirates won game number 1. A couple of differences from the real life is, number 1, I'm not doing as played lineups, just kind of doing as carded, so to speak. And the second one is that for some reason the Reds had the home field advantage in this, whereas they got the first 2 games. So with the Pirates having the best record, I gave them the home field advantage just to see how that would go. So again, I picked up this 1990 Strat-O-Matic season a few weeks ago, and so this gave me an opportunity to get it out and play a short project with it. So today, again, after the Reds lost the first game, we have Jose Rio going for Cincinnati and Zane Smith, the left-handed lefty, going for the Pirates. So without further ado, we'll get the game going and see how it goes. So we're at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, which I had the opportunity to see a few games there. So I think we're ready to roll. Let's get our play ball underway, and here we go. So leading off for the Reds is Mariano Duncan, second baseman, hit 306. Both of these teams had quite a bit different lineups for lefties and righties, it looks like. And so we actually have a complete turnaround, whereas the Reds had a lefty, they have a righty today, and the Pirates had a righty and they have a lefty today. So we'll get to see some different players than we saw in the first game. And I think there was quite a bit of platooning going on in the real life teams. So we will see some different players today. So leading off is Duncan, who didn't start in yesterday's game. Zane Smith in real life was 12-9 with a 2.55 ERA. So Duncan, a right-handed hitter, will start out versus Smith, a left-handed pitcher, and here we go. So that's a 3-8 versus a lefty. That's a ground ball to Bell at shortstop, and he will retire Duncan for out number 1. That'll bring Barry Larkin to the plate, right-handed hitting shortstop, Hall of Famer. Nobody out, or nobody on, 1 out. And that's a 4-10. That's a shortstop X. Bell is a 323, so not the greatest defender. We'll see how he does here. He gets to the ball and gets a 12 on the error check, which is good enough to make the play for out number 2. So good defense there. And quickly, the Reds are 2 out, nobody on for Glenn Braggs, who also didn't play in the first game. And that's a 6-7, and that's a second base X. And that's Jose Lean, who is a much better defender at a 1-8. So he definitely will get to it, even though he rolled a 20 on the 20-sided die. Gets an 8 on the error check, and that will be a good play for Jose Lean. And so Zane Smith retires the Reds on 3 ground outs. We've played half an inning, Cincinnati nothing. The Pirates coming to bat. Leading off for the Pirates versus Jose Rio, who is 14-8 with a 2.70 ERA. Is Wally Backman, former New York Met, 292, switch hitting third baseman today. And that's a 4-9, and that's going to be a shortstop X. Larkin is a 118, so he definitely will get to it. As he gets a 6 on the 20-sided die, gets a 6 on the error check, which is good enough for him not to make an error. So nice defense by the Cincinnati shortstop for out number 1. Jay Bell hit 254 with 7 home runs in real life. Here's the pitch from Rio. She looks to the sign from Oliver. That's a 2-4, and that's going to be trouble. So that's going to be a double. So a triple would have been a 1-4, but as it is, oh, I'm sorry, 2-4. That's a ground ball to third. I was looking at 5-4. So as that is, that Sabo will play that one for out number 2. It's amazing when I hit that record button, I lose 10 IQ points right off the bat. I'll watch the videos and see things that just obvious I miss for some reason. So anyway, Andy Van Slyke, left-handed hitting center fielder, will step to the plate. And that's a 1-7, and he'll draw a walk. So we get our first base runner of the day. As Rio is wild on that one. So we will hold Van Slyke on as he needs a 7 to get a lead, but he has the star. So if he is not held, he will automatically get the lead. We don't have the stolen bases on this card. So we will hold him on it first and Bobby Bonilla, who had a very good game in game number 1, will step in the left-handed batter's box to face Rio. And Van Slyke's trying to get a lead, and he does. 1-15, he will steal it. So we will try to see if Oliver can gun him down, and that's an 11, and he'll slide in safely with a stolen base. And he is got a 50-50 chance. I got to get him on. There you go. He's got a 50-50 chance of stealing second. Kind of hate to hold him to give Bonilla more of a chance to get a hit, but we're going to go ahead and hold him on. So Bobby Bonilla, switch hitting right fielder, will bat left versus the right-handed Rio. Barry Bonds on deck. That's a 4-9. Another shortstop X. Again, Larkin is a 118, so he will for sure get to it if he doesn't make an error. Gets a 7 on the 20, a 14 on the E check. 15, 16, 17, and 18 all would have been errors, but a 14 is not. So a good defensive play in the hole by Larkin. He fires across the infield to Benzinger, and that will do it for the Pirates. So they leave a runner on in scoring position, but this cannot get further than second base. We go to the top half of the second. No score. That brings Eric Davis to the plate. Eric Davis, 260 with 24 home runs. Zane Smith is a left-handed pitcher. He is a 6 lefty versus lefties. So the Reds have no lefties in the lineup. So that's a 4-9. That's a fly ball out to center field. Van Slyke will chase it down for 1 away. Chris Sabo. .270, 25 home runs in the real-life 1990 campaign. Gets a 310, and that's lofted out to left field. Barry Bonds will track it down for the second out of the inning. So Zane Smith has retired the first 5 he's faced. He will focus his attention on Billy Hatcher, playing left field today. Crap. And the dice goes off. So let's switch dice here. That's a 2-9, and versus a lefty, that's a ground ball down to third. Wally Backman will field it and throw him out. That will do it for the Reds in the second. As for the second inning in a row, they go in order. We go to the home half of the second, still no score. I always keep an extra set of dice around because I will inevitably throw one in the floor. So Barry Bonds, who had a good game in game number 1, will get his first crack at Rio here in game number 2. That's a 4-7, and that's a walk. Second walk issued by Jose Rio today. Bonds gets a lead on 2, 4 through 6, and he has the star, so we will hold him on. We will get our first look at Sid Bream playing first base today. Gary Ritas played first base in yesterday's game. We'll see if Bonds tries to steal. He does get a lead. Oh, they call Rio with a balk. So how about that? Again, the computer does the 20-sided die roll in the background. So that is one thing I wish that they would let you do, is roll it, but they don't. So Rio gets the balk. I don't think they had individual balk ratings. At least if it is, it must have been on the roster card, because it's not on his pitching card. All right, so we'll have to hold Bonds on at second, as he has a good chance to steal third as well. And they're not going to try anything. And I turned Bream over for some reason. Bonds is on at second base. Sid Bream hit .270 with 15 home runs, and I hit the wrong button accidentally. So I have to undo it. So edit, undo. All right, so Sid Bream. Here's the pitch from Rio. That's a 4-10. That's a center field X. Davis is a 2-3 out there, so a good chance he'll get to this one with a -4 arm. So we get a, well, come on, get a 9, so he'll get to it, and an 11, so we'll make the good defensive play for out number 1. Mike LaValliere, left-handed hitting catcher, will take his first swing of the series versus Rio. And I had Bonds held on when the play it unheld him, which is frustrating, so we'll try this again. All right, so Mike LaValliere, 1 out. Bonds on second base, runs at a 17. That's a 3-6, and that is going to be trouble. Gets an 18 on the 20, and that's going to be hit deep to center field. Davis won't get to this one. Makes it all the way to the wall. Bonds scores easily, and Mike LaValliere is into second with an RBI double. Pirates up 1-0. That brings Jose Lean up next. So LaValliere on second runs at a 9, so he is not very quick. That's a 1-4, and that's hit hard down to the third baseman, Chris Sabo. He'll look LaValliere back and fire on to Benzinger for the second out of the inning. Zane Smith is a 2W. In the 1990 season, they don't have the individual pitching hitting cards in the computer. So, and that's a 4-7, and that's a second base. Let's see, actually that's a walk versus a lefty. So Jose Rio walks his third batter of the game. One of those batters have already proceeded to score. So Wally Backman with an opportunity to give the Pirates some more runs. He grounded out to short in his first at bat. That's a 1-9, and that's a fly ball out to right field. Glenn Braggs will get to it, and that will do it for the Pirates in the second. Not before they get a run on 1 base hit, no errors, 2 runners left on. We've played 2 here at Three Rivers Stadium. The Pittsburgh Pirates are up 1-0. The Reds try not to get down 2-0 here early in the series. We'll send 7, 8, and 9 to the plate. Todd Bidzinger getting his first start at first base today. Gets a 1-6 versus a lefty, and that's a hard grounder to short. I'll be darned if I didn't hit the wrong button again. Let's try that again. A 1-6. That's a hard grounder to Bell, and he will fire on to Sid Bream for the first out of the inning. Joe Oliver. I believe he's getting his first start too. Let's see. Yeah, Jody Reed caught yesterday. Oliver did come in and get a single in the ninth, however, so he's 1 for 1 in the series. That's a 5-7 versus a righty, and that's a single to center field. So Joe Oliver delivers the first Reds base hit of the game. Oliver not a threat to steal. It is being held on, however. Jose Rio is a 2W with a C bunter. We'll put Oliver there at first. So we'll probably go ahead and let the corners are in, and we're going to go ahead and try to bunt. Rio fouls off the first attempt, and it's 1-2, or 1-2 rather. So we're going to stay with the bunt. He lays down a good one. Zane Smith picks it up, has to hurry, and gets him for the out. So a good bunt under pressure there for Jose Rio as he's retired 1-4 for the second out. So Joe Oliver on second base runs at a 10, which is pretty typical for a catcher. And Mariano Duncan, who is in a clutch situation, is not normally a clutch hitter, is his 2-3, 2-8, and 2-10, and 3-2 all turn to pop outs. So we're going to pitch to Duncan here. That's a 1-9 versus a lefty, and that's a 2-star single. So how about that? Mariano Duncan much better versus lefties. He's 8L. So he delivers a single up the middle. Oliver will score easily as he was running with 2 outs. And the Reds have tied it up due to a RBI single by Mariano Duncan. So they're holding him on at first, and he is a threat to steal. Smith holds it a +2. LaValliere has a -1 arm, so that'll be a +1 net. Duncan needs a 2-7 to get a lead, so with 2 outs here, we're going to give it a shot. He's not able to get the lead, however. 1-10, he still can try to steal. But we're not going to take those chances, so we'll leave Duncan on at first and let Barry Larkin swing away with 2 outs. 1 run in already. Here is the pitch to Larkin. That's a 6-4, 1-8. Oh, how about that? Larkin gets a hold of one. Gets a 7 on the 20. That's deep to left field. And they got to do the stupid foul ball. I hate when they do that. When you're rolling the dice, you know what's coming up. So that's deep to left center field. That's way back, and it's gone. So Barry Larkin with a 2-run bomb. And the Reds are up 3-1. I'm glad I didn't try to have Duncan steal. That would have been a shame to get him thrown out. So big 2-run bomb for Barry Larkin, and the Reds are up 3-1. As the Pittsburgh fans here at Three River Stadium are silenced. So Glenn Braggs will step to the plate. He grounded out to end the first. Gets a 2-11, and that's a single check in Cincinnati, or at Three Rivers rather. It's an average day here, so that's a 1-3. He got a 13, so that will not be enough. Ground ball down to Backman at third. Guns him down. Out number 3. But the Reds get 3 runs, 3 base hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the home half of the third. The Cincinnati Reds 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Jay Bell, we got 2, 3, and 4 due up for Pittsburgh here in their half of the third. Jay Bell grounded out in his first effort of the game. That's a 1-4, and that's hit hard down to short. Larkin will backhand it in the hole. Fire on to Benzinger, out number 1. Andy Van Slyke, he walked, stole the base, and was stranded on second. That's a 5-10, and that's a single check. Needs a 3, and he got an 8. So again, Three Rivers a little stingy with the singles. It's 1-8 on the homers, but that's a grounder to Rio, and he will field him and throw him out for out number 2. Bobby Bonilla will come to the plate with 2 out, nobody on. He grounded out to end the first. Again, he had a home run in yesterday's affair. And that's a 2-5, and that will be a strikeout. So Rio struck him out on a fastball. Bob Bonilla goes down swinging, and that will do it for the Pirates, as Rio is able to hold on to the lead. We've played 3 here at Three Rivers Stadium. 3-1 Cincinnati Reds. I think on paper this Pirates team is a little better. So we'll see if the Reds can have the magic they had in real life. So Eric Davis, he flied out to center field in his first at bat. That's a 5-6. 1-15 is a single, and a 15 he got. That's a single up the middle, and the Reds get the lead runner on here in the 4th. Eric Davis has a very good chance to steal. If he gets a 4 or a 5, he is just about guaranteed. So we're going to see if he can get the lead. He's not able to. 1-10 would be his plan B. Not getting a lead, so we're going to hold off on that. So we'll let Chris Sabo take his crack. He flew out to left field in his first effort of the game. 2-6 versus a lefty, and 1-11 he needs for a single, and he got a 6. So the Reds with back-to-back singles here with nobody out in the 4th. The Reds are in business here as they threaten again. Brings Billy Hatcher up. He grounded out to end the 2nd. Pirates are playing the corners in. Hatcher is a B bunter. We almost have to take that, so we're going to try to instruct him to lay one down, see if he can sacrifice him over. Squares around, bunts at it, fielded by Backman, and he will throw it to first. So Billy Hatcher gets the bunt down, and the Reds have him on second and third with 1 out. For Todd Benzinger, who grounded out to start the 3rd. The Pirates are playing the infield in, which obviously give Benzinger some more opportunities to find a hole. That's a 3-7, and that's fly ball to center field B. So we got a possible play here. Van Slyke has a -3 arm. Davis runs at a 15. And the B gives you a +2, so 1-14 he will score. So we've got to take those odds. So we're going to send the lead runner. The trailing runner is 1-7, so I'm going to send him. So I want to get this run. But they're not going to cut it off. They're going for Davis at the plate, and that's a 10, and he slides in safely. So Davis with the speed. Sabo will make it to 3rd, and the Reds are up 4-1. Todd Benzinger with the RBI. The Reds are up by 3. That brings Joe Oliver up. He singled the first Reds base hit and then scored. Here is the pitch from Smith, 2 out. That's a 1-5 versus the lefty, and that's a 1-star single. So Joe Oliver with his second base hit, and Zane Smith is having all kinds of trouble here in Pittsburgh as the Reds go up 5-1. A single and an RBI. And Oliver on at first. So the Pirate bullpen up and going as Jose Rio had a sacrifice bunt in his first effort. This may be it for Smith if he's not able to get Rio here. That's a 3-9, and that's a ground ball down to first base. Rio late on a fastball. Bream will field it, take it to the bag himself, and that'll do it for the Reds in the fourth. They get a couple more runs on 1, 2, 3 base hits. There were no errors, one runner left on. We go to the home half of the fourth. Cincinnati Reds 5, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Barry Bonds will step to the plate. He walked, made it to second on a balk, and then ended up scoring on Mike LaVallier's double. That's a 4-8, and that's a strikeout. So Jose Rio with strikeout number 2. Curveball in the dirt, swung at and missed by Bonds. Oliver will catch it, quickly tags Bonds for out number 1. Sid Bream, he flew out to center field. That's a 5-7, and that's a second base X. Duncan is a 324, so not the greatest fielder, but we'll see if he can get to it. 4, he will not. He gets a 10, no error, so that'll be a grounder in the hole. Duncan reaches it, but he's not able to make a throw. So an infield single for Sid Bream. He is doesn't run well, but he does have a decent steal rating. So I love how Strat-O-Matic breaks things like that up. So we will hold him on at first. 1 away, Mike LaValliere, who has an RBI double already to his credit in today's ball game. And they call another balk on Rio. Rio can't believe it, and neither can me. So the second balk of the game, I can't remember a game where there were 2 balks, but we have them here today. So that'll put Bream rather on second base. Mike LaValliere will have a runner in scoring position now. This is where Bonds was the last time LaValliere was up. That's a 6-9, and he strikes him out. So Rio taking matters into his own hands. Right down the middle, strike 3. LaValliere must have been looking for something else, as he doesn't even offer at it. 2 away for Jose Lean. So this is, do you walk Lean and get to the pitcher? Or do you try to go after Lean and try to get the pitcher leading off the next inning? So that's a tough one. Lean's 2-3 turns to a pop out. I'm going to go ahead and pitch to him. A little risky here. We'll see how it works out. That's a 1-6 versus the right-handed pitcher, and that'll be a fly ball out to center field. Davis will 1-6. No, that's a shortstop. Down to shortstop. I was looking at 1-7. Good thing I played the computer. I'd miss a lot of these. So no runs on 1 base hit, no errors. The Pirates leave their 4th runner on. We go to inning number 5. Cincinnati up by 4. Mariano Duncan. Reds will lead off with their leadoff hitter. He has singled in a run and scored 1 himself. So Smith still on the mound. And that's a 4-6. And that's going to be a 4-6 is the line out. Line out to Bell for out number 1. Barry Larkin has a 2-run home run to his credit in this afternoon's ball game. He is up with nobody on and 1 out. That's a 2-6 versus the left-hander. Needs a 1-3. Got a 13, so that'll be a line out to third. Hit it hard, but Backman is able to get to it. Out number 2. So 2 line outs in a row for the Reds. We'll bring Glenn Braggs to the plate. He's grounded out twice. 2 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. That's a 5-7, and that's a single to center field. So Glenn Braggs will get his first hit of the game, hit number 7 for the Reds. And he doesn't have the star. He's out on a 9-10. There's 2 outs. Eric Davis at the plate. So we're going to go ahead and let him hit away. Normally, under this circumstance, I would try to steal. We are up by 4, so we'll see what Eric Davis can do. That's a 5-5, and that'll be a easy grounder to second base. Jose Lean scoops it up off the turf, throws him out for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Reds get a hit, leave a runner on. They've only left 2 on so far in the festivities tonight. We go to the home half of the 5th. 5-1 Cincinnati Reds. Zane Smith will lead off here. We'll see if they go to the bullpen or not. And they're going to let him hit away. He makes sure. Yep, they're going to let him hit away. So Zane Smith is a 2-6, and he strikes out. Strikeout number 6, or strikeout number 4 rather, for Jose Rio. Over and against 3 walks so far. So Wally Backman, 1 out, nobody on. He gets a 4-8 as a lefty, and that's a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in a row. And with 2 out, nobody on for Jay Bell. He is grounded out twice. Here's the pitch from Rio. That's a 1-7. Needs a 1-5 for a single. He got a 7, however. So just misses a hit. As it is, he lines out to Sabo. That'll do it for the Pirates in the 5th. So Jose Rio in a bit of a groove. We go to the top of the 6th inning here at Three River Stadium. Cincinnati Reds 5, Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Chris Sabo is singled and flied out. That's a 5-6. 1-15 is a single, and he got a 10. So Zane Smith will benefit from teams that have to have left-handed hitters in the lineup, and the Reds are able to throw some pretty good righties at you. So that's definitely a disadvantage to Zane Smith. So Sabo, 3-6, he gets a pretty good lead, so we're going to see if we can get that lead. And he's off to the races. Here's the throw from LaValliere, and that's a 6, and he will slide in safely. So Sabo in second with a stolen base. First stolen base of the game for the Reds. That'll put Sabo in scoring position. They're holding him on at second. He runs at a 15. So Billy Hatcher has grounded out in a sacrifice bunt to his credit. That's a 2-8, and that's going to be popped up on the infield. So Jay Bell will call everyone off and put it away for out number 1. He would have liked Hatcher to at least advance the runner, but not able to do so. So it's up to Todd Benzinger, who has a ground out and a sacrifice fly. That's a 2-4, and that's a fly ball to left field. Medium deep, but not deep enough to get Sabo anywhere other than back to second base as Bonds squeezes it for out number 2. Joe Oliver in the clutch situation. His 1-4 turns to a single. We'll see if they intentionally walk him or not. Nope, they're going to pitch to him. He is 2 for 2 with an RBI single. That's a 2-4. Needs a 1-2 and got a 15. He will line out to third to end the 6th. So the Reds are not able to bring Sabo around as he is left at second base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Reds up 5-1. So Rio's inning of fatigue is 7. And of course we have the nasty boys in the bullpen. I think we did use Charleston yesterday. So Andy Van Slyke is walked, stolen a base, and grounded out to the pitcher. That's a 1-9, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Davis will take a few steps to right center field. And that's out number 1. We got the dangerous B&B boys up. Bobby Bonilla is 0 for 2. That's a 5-4 as a lefty, and that's trouble. That's going to be a double as he pulls it into the right center field gap. Hit it hard. Nobody will get to it. Braggs will chase it down and fire it into second, but Bobby Bonilla is into second with a double. So that brings up Barry Bonds, rather. Hate to walk him. Sid Bream is not nearly as good, but a 2-run home run is not as bad as a 3-run home run. So we will let Bonds face Rio. That's a 1-8, and 1-10 is a single, and he gets a 3. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. I have to wait for all this to get through the undo button. All right, so we got a 1-8, a 3 on the 20, and that's a 1-star single. So Bonilla will make it to third. Bonds is on at first. He is a threat to steal. So we'll hold him on. We're going to play the infield back. We'll concede the run if we can get the double play. Sid Bream has flied out and singled. I'll let Rijo see what he can do here. He has an infield single, his last at bat. That's a 3-7, and that's hit hard down to the second baseman, Mariano Duncan. He will shovel it on to Larkin, on to Benzinger. 4-6-3 double play. So nice job by the Reds and Jose Rio as they get out of a pickle here in the 6th. They get Sid Bream to ground into the inning double play. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left. We go to inning number 7 now. Reds up by 4. So Jose Rio, we'll go ahead and let him hit away here. Hate to take a man out who's pitching as good as he is. That's a 2-7. He will proceed to strike out for out number 1. That's the first strikeout today for Zane Smith, oddly enough. Mariano Duncan is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Again, getting his first start as he is kind of in a platoon situation at second. That's a 3-5. That's lifted out to left field where Barry Bonds patrols for out number 2. Two out, nobody on for Barry Larkin, who has a 2-run bomb in 3 plate appearances. That's a 6-3. That's a single check. As we know, we need a 3. Got a 19. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning. I took a nap right before I did this, and that's obviously not what I need to do because I have missed about 4 dice rolls. All right, so let's try this again. We got a 6, 3, a 19 on the 20, and that'll be a fly ball out to Bonds to end the inning. 7th inning stretch time here in Pittsburgh. Reds up by 4. Time for our trivia question. On October 2nd, 1920, umpire Peter Robertson did yeoman's work that day. What was it? I am doing, obviously, a 1920 Chicago White Sox replay, so I thought they was going to maybe say something about Ray Chapman. So I don't have any idea what that would be. So let's see what umpire Peter Harrison did on October 2nd of 1920. He worked behind the plate for all 3 Pirates and Reds games that day. It was the last of the Major League's triple header games. Wow, a triple header. I have never heard of a triple header. I'd say they were all kinds of people tired that day. All right, Mike LaValliere is doubled and struck out here. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Pirates down by 4. That's a 4-6, and that'll be a leadoff walk. Not what Rio wanted to do. He was wild early in the game, but lately not so much. But walks LaValliere here to lead off the 7th. LaValliere not a threat to steal, so Benzinger will play behind him. Jose Lean is 0 for 2. That's a 4-8, and that's a strikeout. So Jose Rio whiffs his 6th of the game as Lean goes down swinging. That brings up Zane Smith. I imagine they'll pinch hit here, and they are. R.J. Reynolds will grab a bat. R.J. Reynolds was 288 and 215 at bats. Switch hitter. So that'll be it for Zane Smith. Not his finest outing ever. Pinch hitter here with LaValliere on first. Here is the pitch from Rio. That's a 5-5 as a lefty, and that's going to be a 2-star single. So hard ground ball into right field. LaValliere will chuck around to third, and the Pirates have him on the corners with 1 out. Wally Backman. Now we are in that situation where we have to start considering bullpen here. Of course, they have a lot of people in a lot of righties that they can bring in to pinch hit. Backman is a switch hitter, but he's much better against the righties. Don't really want to mess around with it here. We got plenty of people in the bullpen. Of course, Rio is pitching a heck of a game. Now let's see what he can do here against Backman. I'm going to let him swing away. Here's Jose Rio. 2-8. 1-15's a single, and he got a 2. So Pirates get 1 here as Backman will single. Here, wait a minute. Oh, I still have Reynolds up. Dad, burn it. I need to wake up. So a 2-8 is a ground ball to short, and that's going to be a double play. So it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So he grounds 1 to Larkin, on to Duncan, on to Benzinger, and the Reds have turned their second double play in 2 innings. So to end the inning both times. So good job by Rio there to get Backman. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. We've played 7. The Reds still up by 4. So Rick Reed will be in for the Pirates to pitch. Rick Reed was 2-3 with a 4.36 ERA. Probably not going with their closer in this situation, down by 4. So Glenn Braggs will start off. We'll go ahead and leave him in the game, even though they have a righty going now. Right-handed pitcher. Leave Braggs in, see what he can do here versus Reed. And I missed the tower. We get a 2-11. And that's a single check at the ballpark. We need a 17. Will not cut it. Out number 1 as Braggs fouls 1 in foul ground, and Jose Lean will actually pop up to shortstop. Another one of their infamous foul balls that doesn't count. Oh, I wish I could turn that off. All right, Eric Davis is 1 for 3 with a run scored. As the Reds bat in the top of the 8th, that's a 4-8. Needs a 19 for a single and got a 9. So Eric Davis will get his second hit of the game. He lines one up the middle. He's obviously a threat to steal, so they'll hold him on. Reed holds at a +4. LaValliere has a -1 arm, so Reed not helping out his battery mate there with that +4 rating. So we're going to see if Eric Davis can get the lead. He does not, so he's still got a 1-12 chance. There's 1 out, so I'm going to hold him. Well, let's see what Chris Sabo can do. Sabo is 2 for 3 with a stolen base and a run scored. That's a 5-8, and that's a double to left field. So how about that? Sabo pulls one down the line. Fair ball as it rattles around in the corner. Davis has a 1-14 to try to score. We'll take those odds. And we're going to send the trailing runner, who is a 1-8. They'll probably go for the plate, however. And so here we go. Here's the play at the plate. And that's a 3. So he slides in easily ahead of the throw. And Sabo is into third, and the Reds are up by 5. So a big double there. Chris Sabo with his first RBI of the game, his 3rd hit. That's hit number 10 for the Reds overall, and that'll bring Billy Hatcher to the plate. 1 out, Sabo on third. The Pirates are just going to play back at this point. Hatcher is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. That's a 4-8, 1-19. Got an 11. Reds are up 7-1. As Hatcher gets in the offensive action. Todd Benzinger has a sacrifice fly and 3 at bats. So it looks like they're going to just go with Reed here and let him eat it up. That's a 2-3, and that's hit hard to second baseman Jose Lean. Looks like that might be a double play as he tosses it to Bell, fires it on to Bream, and that'll be a 4-6-3 double play. The Reds are able to get 1 more on 3 base hits, no errors. They leave 1 on. We go to inning number 8. Actually, they scored 2 that inning. Who did I miss? Oh, Sabo scored. That's right. That would be 2 on 3 base hits. All right. Don't want to cheat the Reds of their run, so we go to the bottom of the 8th. Jose Rio given a 6-run lead. We'll start with Jay Bell, who is 0 for 3 so far. 3-8 on the dice is a strikeout. Strikeout number 7 today for Jose Rio. 1 away for Andy Van Slyke, who is 0 for 2. He does have a walk and a stolen base. Way back in the first. 3-7. Ground ball down to second baseman Duncan. Out number 2. Bobby Bonilla has a double. 2 out, nobody on, 2-8, and he proceeds to strike out. So Jose Rio doing what he did in 1990. Retires the Pirates in order in the 8th. We go to inning number 9. 7-1 Cincinnati Reds. Joe Oliver is 2 for 3, an RBI, a run scored, couple singles. 4-7, that's a second base X. Jose Lean is a fine defender at a 1-8, so he will for sure get to it as he gets a 14, rolled a 13 on the error check, and he will make the play. So good defense there by Jose Lean for out number 1. I'm going to go ahead and let Rijo hit. He save the bullpen here. He is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. 1-8 will be a strikeout. Strikeout number 1 for Reed. Second time Rio struck out. In fact, he was Zane Smith's first strikeout. So with 2 out, nobody on. Duncan, who is 1 for 4. Step into the right-hander's batter's box. We got a 2-7. And that's a single to center field. So a 2 out hit here as Duncan gets his second hit of the game. Barry Larkin, 1 for 4. Getting that 2-run home run back in the 3rd. Put the Reds up for good. 6-6, and he hits a 2-star single. So again, they may stick with Reed here, as this game is all but lost. Don't want to waste any more of your pitchers. So Glenn Braggs, 1 for 4. 2 out, runners on the corners. 4-8, needs a 19, got a 10. We've hit that 4-8 numerous times here for poor old Mr. Reed. And we have hit it every time with the 20-sided die. Reds are up 8-1. Well, this has turned into a good old-fashioned blowout here. As a Reds fan, you'd like to see if they could save some of those runs for the next game, but it doesn't work that way. Eric Davis is 2 for 4, couple singles, 2 runs scored. And they actually have had enough of Reed. They're going to bring in Neil Heaton. So Reed will hit the showers. So that'll bring on the left-hander Neil Heaton, who is way better versus righties. So that's it for Reed. You got to find Neil Heaton now. There's Mr. Heaton. So Eric Davis, 2 out, runners on first and second. The Reds already have another run in. Here is the pitch. That's a 5-4, a ballpark single check. He got a 16, so that will not cut it. So 5-4, 16 on the 20, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning as Davis lines it to short. We go to the home half of the 9th. Do that in the right color. Leave a couple on. We go to inning the bottom of the 9th, 8-1 Cincinnati Reds. See if Rio can get the complete game. He's got 5, 6, and 7 to contend with here. Barry Bonds is 1 for 2 with a walk. One of Rio's balks. 4-11, and that's a strikeout. So Rio picking up where he left off last inning. Strikes out Bond for strikeout number 9. Sid Breen, 1 for 3. Gets a 6-5, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 10 for Jose Rio as he is struck out the last 4 of the last 5. That's Mike LaValliere. He is doubled and walked. Mike LaValliere has driven in the only Pirate run back in the second with a double. 5-5, and that's going to be a single. So Mike LaValliere decides he is not going to be a strikeout victim. So Mike LaValliere gets a 5-5, 12 on the 20. That's lined hard to center field. Rags will play it on a couple hops. Mike LaValliere with his second hit of the game. Jose Lean is 0 for 3. Four, 5, and that is a strikeout. So Jose Rio struck out 11 as he pretty much dominated the Pirates as we had a good old-fashioned blowout. So we'll check out the box score here real quick. So the Reds get 8 runs on 14 hits, no errors. The Pirates are only able to muster 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. Jose Rio picks up the win as he goes 9 innings with 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. Zane Smith took the loss, 7 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, no walks and a strikeout. The Reds had Sabo had 3 hits. Duncan, Larkin, Braggs, Davis, and Oliver all had 3. Benzinger, the only position player without a base hit, but he did have a sacrifice fly. So here in game number 2, the Reds have tied it up. So we're 1 game apiece, and then I believe we head to Cincinnati now for 3 games. So the Reds have evened it up 1-1. So shaping to be a good series here. So I appreciate it very much, and I will see you next time.